These are the things I would do differently if I was starting my fitness journey again. My fitness journey started back when I was about 15. I had a bunch of health issues, so the first sort of initiative that I took was getting into the gym. And one of the things that I wish I did when I was, first starting out in the gym in those first few years was ask more questions. Don't be afraid to actually go and find the people that are where I want to be, or at that point in time, and ask them, how do I do this exercise? Is my form correct? How do you get in such good shape? What are you doing for your eating and stuff like that? How do you do it? Just asking questions in general. It's something that I've picked up over the recent years. And, with this, I'm always learning. And what I've sort of found is there's always something that you can get from each single person. Everyone has something to offer that will be valuable to you. Everyone has always got something to offer. It's just about having those conversations with those people who are where you want to be, asking those questions if you have the chance to, especially if you have the access to actually talk to these people and get this information out of them. I wish I asked a few questions when I was, a bit younger, and I was sort of getting into the gym, and some exercises I was doing with horrendous form. And that sort of has led to imbalances in some areas, which down the track has caused pain, and which now I'm having to fix. They are getting better, but it is also annoying knowing that it could have been avoidable earlier on. The next thing is the role of nutrition. Nutrition is so much more important than people think. People, like, when I say to people that nutrition is like 90 to 95% of your result with anything, it literally is. I used to think that, the more exercise I did, the better in shape I would get. So I would be working out, 2 weeks in a row without a rest day. But my results now are heaps better when I focus on nutrition, and I'm only working out about 4 days a week, obviously mixing that with rugby league as well. I'm giving myself 2 rest days a week, but I'm giving myself at least 2 rest days a week, and I'm finding results are way better because I'm letting my body recover, but I'm also focusing on nutrition too. Nutrition controls so many things. Obviously, when it comes to fat loss, being in a calorie deficit is important, but your general, sort of nutrition with having high protein foods that are going to fill you up so you can stay in this calorie deficit. Also helping you repair that muscle after workouts. If you're not having high protein foods, then all the working out that you're doing is, just going to be useless. And other things like dietary fats, for hormone regulation, and also carbs for your energy source as well. These macronutrients play a massive part, in how you feel daily and the quality of, the macronutrients that you have. So there's all these, healthy alternatives of foods these days, which are, high protein, and it might be like high protein rice bubbles, like the cereal and all that stuff. Most of that stuff is just filled with shit. But if you're actually going for, good quality nutrition and you're keeping most of your foods whole foods, there's that old rule that they always refer back to, which is an 80-20 rule, 80% whole foods, 20%, junk foods. I think this is a great rule, or at least even 70-30. That is still progress. But also for people who are getting sick, that have gut issues and they have all these health issues, most of it is linked to your choices with exercise and nutrition. Especially nutrition. People will get all these health issues and wonder why they're sick. But the thing is that, what they're eating on a daily basis is just straight junk. It's, heaps of sodium through heaps of soft drinks, very highly processed foods like Maccas every day. And when they have a home cooked meal, it's something just full of shit, a lot of, bad fats. I used to still eat high protein foods a few years ago, but I was having all like the protein bars and stuff like that, like not good whole food, good quality proteins. I've noticed since switching, my food to more whole foods, not saying it's completely whole food, I still get takeaway a few times a week and still have some, some small amount of processed foods. But I definitely notice a massive difference in terms of digestion, energy, my recovery, actual just mood in general. There's heaps of benefits that you can take out of having better nutrition. The last thing I'm going to talk about is social media. I think people should stop comparing themselves to see, to what they see online. I think what people should focus on is, are they realistically for themselves doing, as much as they can? Are they giving it a good effort? Are they trying to be better every day? If you're just trying to be at least 1% better every single day, that is still progress. Just because you see someone online who apparently in 1 year has turned into a Greek god and they used to be obese, you don't know them. You don't know that they could have been using PEDs. Maybe it was all natural. If it is, it's all, they also probably have very good genetics too. Maybe they put in the really hard work. Who knows? But everyone's story is absolutely different. I think the really important thing to focus on during this time is, are you doing, what's realistic for you to stick to long term? And is it something that's making you keep progressing every day and every week? If that's so, and it's realistic for you and you don't think you can give it any more to a point where, it becomes unsustainable, and that's all you need to be doing. You're doing good. One thing I always think about when I look at these people online that are showing off, how good they look and all this stuff, which is great. But there's people that, their job is to look good. They're influencers. Their job is literally to look good. So, there's heaps of filters that go into it, angles, lighting, and like even photoshopping. You wouldn't even believe it, but people, I reckon a lot of the people, general normal people that you see on your feed, like just average everyday people, there will be people who have used filters, photoshopped. Like I've dead set seen it with people who are just average people that have 400 followers. They photoshop their own photos too. I've seen people in person who I, initially saw online and thought, oh, they're gonna look incredible in person. And like, yeah, they do look good, but when I see them, I'm like, oh, they don't look like what you see on social media all the time. Obviously there's been some filter or lighting, or as long as you are doing the right things and progressing yourself and doing what's realistic for you and it's pushing you forward, that's all that matters. If you're unsure of how you're going to sort out a plan for yourself that's going to keep pushing you forward and in the right direction towards your goals, need a bit of guidance with this, I'm more than happy to help. Any questions you guys have, just message it through to me on my Instagram at landenquinn.coaching. Shoot me any questions that you have or any piece of advice that you want. I'm more than happy to help.